Man, I thought I told y'all about James Harden. I thought I told y'all that James Harden was likely not to sign with the 76ers and run it back. I thought I told y'all that he was probably going to get out, visit that free agency. Also, he can get himself back to H-Town. H-Town is home for that man. H-Town is probably going to throw him a long-term contract, which he stated, according to the Bleacher Report, which is probably true because Bleacher Report don't be lying like that. According to Bleacher Report, he wanted out. He wants to test free agency in order to get a deal with long-term benefits. That sounds like H-Town to me, where he was once an MVP caliber guy, got the MVP trophy, got the scoring title. It sounds like he's going to be heading back there. What does that mean for the Sixers? The 76ers going to have a void at that position that they cannot mask right now. They can't get it from the draft. They probably can't get that type of caliber guy from free agency. Probably not going to happen. The only way they're going to be able to mask that or to replicate his production is to get somebody in the trade. Unfortunate for them, it's going to cost them Embiid. Yeah, I'm heavy on the idea of getting Embiid to the Portland trailblazers. But I'm also heavy on Giannis going to the Portland trailblazers. I say this because at this point, they have Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton both going to free agency unless they get signed again. If they don't get signed by the Bucks, that free agency is looking real nice. They're going to get their names drawn out. Someone wants them. I think it's a good opportunity for the Blazers to capitalize on the fact that at the 3 position, I don't think there's a vacancy, but there's room for enhancement. Chris Middleton will do that for us. That gives us a defensive presence, an individual who's been to the dance. He can, yeah, baby, that's my daughter. Yes. You can have all the colors. That's my baby back there. She wants all the colors. But going back to Chris Middleton, he's been to the dance. He knows what that pressure is. He knows how to come up on top. How would we get Giannis? I think at this point, you dangle the carrot and Simons, Nurk. You can even sign and trade Grant, and you add that last, cherry on top, that 3rd pick. Everybody's coveting that the 3rd pick is a big deal. Not if you want to win a championship today, all right? That even if you had the first pick, right? Even if you got the first pick and you got Victor, you're not guaranteed to make it to the dance as a Blazer, Like, that's just not happening. We don't have all the pieces necessary to facilitate an environment in which Dame, Shea Sharp, and whoever else is on the team can make it to the dance. You need more. So here's how you get more, or here's who we should probably go after. If we can get Giannis, and you can get him at the 4, that covers up a lot of our imperfections defensively. At least once they get past the perimeter, once they get into that block, that little area, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to score compared to what we presently have in Grant and Nurk. Not that those two don't play, but they don't play as well as Giannis, who has been defensive player at some point in his career. If we really want to get freaky with it, we can sign Brook Lopez, who's one of the better defensive centers out there. So that would be the 3 players from the Bucks that we would sign. Or hear me out. So and I say 3 because somehow we would get Giannis with that big trade. That is a pretty big trade, by the way. That's basically a whole bunch of individuals who can start for different teams out there. Now, we can sign 2 of those guys, and Middleton, or as well as Brooks, and we can find Kristaps Porzingis, who's also in free agency, sign him. That would give us some leverage points. Definitely a lot more defensive prowess, and I think that would actually be a better team. That would be a contender, and certainly a better team than what we presently have. Or we can go get Embiid. You go get Embiid, you trade everybody who I just mentioned in that package, Simons, Nurk, Grant, add in that pick, and go get Embiid, that would probably put us over the top as well. You can still sign Chris Middleton. You can still sign Kristaps Porzingis. That would take us way over the top. Either way, I guess what I'm getting at is the Blazers better do something. If we don't do something, trade Dame. Just let Dame go. Let Dame go. Maybe he'll win it without us. But if you really want to win it, and you have a guy who's a core element of winning in Dame, you have Shea Sharp, who's an up-and-comer, who's probably going to be in the next 3 years. He's going to be one of the bigger names in the NBA. If you want to make it to the dance, you have to be willing to play the music. And unfortunately, that music is going to cost us money and our pick. And one of the other guys who we just recently signed in Simons. Trade them all. Trade them all. Go get the actual piece that we need rather than trying to do this whole thing about development, which the Blazers traditionally, we can develop players after they leave. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that weird? Like we have players that are good and then they leave and they're better. Jermaine O'Neal. There's some other players out there that I can name off. That's not coming to mind, but like, Hood. Hood's good. You know, like he would have probably been a better asset to us than not. But anyways, those are my thoughts, all right? Let me know what combinations of trades you think we can muster if we were to somehow package up Simons. We can do a sign and trade with Grant in that same package. Put Nurk up in there. And throw that pick in there. So 4 different things that we can package up to get one megastar. What is that one star? Who is that one star? Why do you think we would get him? Leave that in the comments. And let's have this discussion, man. I'm excited for the season, as long as the front office as well as the ownership is willing to like be as motivated as the fans. Anyways, that's my take on it. Deuces.